I would blame us as well, like we women, because we get to be very reluctant and we endure different things, different situations that are really, that one have to pull out of. Like violence starts in very simple forms, like simple ways. Just a man by raising up his voice at you, for simple reasons, for that matter. That's how it begins. It's terrifying, and that's how it begins.
And once you allow,
come again.
And once you allow it,
then something else serious, because something else bigger. It's next.
But even allow is such a powerful word. Can you allow something that you don't necessarily have the power to stop?
Because I would sort of think of that as the man I raise my voice towards you, you shrink yourself because now you think, okay, he has spoken.
The man has
and you've allowed that. Or do you endure that? Do you stick around with that? Let's engage on that. Do women allow that? Why do they then stay?
I think we do a lot to stay alive. Honestly. We do a lot to navigate men.
Okay.
There are times where I am so angry I could scream, but I have to swallow it because I don't know if I'll be putting myself in danger by saying something, or by speaking up for myself, or by standing up for myself.
Would you then say you're allowing that?
I don't think so. Because allowing implies that I can control the outcome. But I don't know what the consequence will be of me laying that boundary.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Now, recently, we've also seen a lot of women that are really coming on the forefront. We've seen movements like the Me Too movement, women that are able to speak out, based on their abuse. Do you feel that there's sort of this back and forth with women that speak about their abuse, that they're also perceived as victims, but amongst women, they're not supportive of the victim, but more the perpetrator?
I think that society is designed to support abuse.
Why?
Because all men benefit from the violence of a few. All men benefit from violence against women. Because it keeps women behaving. It keeps us in our place. It keeps us from standing up, from changing things. It keeps us in our places.
And Kata, would you say that that's the type of environment that you grew up in Oshinene, that the man is the dominant one, and that whatever he says goes, because women are supposed to be placed in a certain position and aligned to certain things? And
definitely, and that leads to this type of behavior whereby we women don't speak up that much, though movements such as Me Too recently had helped people speak up about violence and abuses. Situations become very tough that most of the time women don't really speak up about it. We just go quiet about it, we go silent about it, and that makes the whole situation dangerous, because at the end of the day we have to remember that we need to restructure the environment these young ones grow up in.
Exactly.
Because I believe that that's the only way this whole situation is going to change for the better. Is when we try to create an environment that is safe, secure, and nurturing in a most positive manner
Absolutely.
to the young ones. And then we know that we have a whole youth or small children that will actually grow into a generation for the better, not really that will still keep up with this generational cycle that we've been having ongoing ever since. Really have to take up, we have to take note of that. It's important that we start speaking up about it, reporting such cases so that people that are victims, so that victims really get help out there.
Exactly.
And especially children, young kids need to grow up in a safe, secure environment.
Exactly. And I love the fact that you said we need to start restructuring, you know, because it starts with the marches we have. It starts with petitions that we put in. But what about the victim that didn't make it? What about that one lady that unfortunately didn't survive? You know, what is your message to the lady that sits at home that's enduring violence? Well, that's enduring abuse, that's enduring, you know what, let me shrink myself, let me, you know, like Thuli said, survive, because that's what women are doing now. They're surviving at the cost of who? Exactly. What's your message to them? What's your message to men?
I don't know that it's necessarily a message, but something quite valuable that I observed traveling the country, speaking to men and women about gender-based violence. And sort of on that journey, it really occurred to me to look at the whole arc of our history as a country. That we were invaded by Germany in 1940, whenever it was. And the first genocide of the 21st century was committed in this country. That's trauma. Of the greatest degree. Then we were given to South Africa. And then our country experienced apartheid. And I think what those two things did was break down our traditional family, community setups. It broke the structural fiber that kind of
held everything together.
And then religion came with a whole different set of rules that are not from us. It is an Eastern/Western religion that was brought here, and then so you have colonialism that broke down at things at a certain level, then you have apartheid that broke things down at another level, and that's a divide and rule, right? Then you bring the layer of religion, and straight after that it's HIV. And I think that not only are we... Sorry, I've got so many thoughts in my head.
Sure.
If I think about my dad, right? My dad was born in 1934 in Novemberland. My dad is in his 80s now. When my dad was born, the North still had trees and wildlife, and there was not my dad, like, there were no white people. He grew up in a fully traditional society. And now, I am only the next generation. And how many things have happened in that time? How many changes have happened? So you see this complete destruction of the fabric of community and family. But with that, you see the complete emasculation of black and brown Namibian men by colonialism and by apartheid. And that trauma was never addressed.
So there's that unraveling of that trauma that, you know, that now we understand as men that maybe the only way to deal with certain issues is to sort of, you know, excess violence towards women. It's sort of to be violent towards women and deal with everything in a violent manner.
And it's also I think it's also the only way that is acceptable. It's the only socially acceptable way for men to express emotion.
Yeah.
Is through anger.
And that has been normalized.
Yes.
Okay. Well, sure. I'm a little bit distraught now. Well, it's taking me back. And yeah, like you say, it's really deep, Katu. And share with us your experience. What is your message to a young woman that might be going through abuse? Your message to, someone experiencing this abuse, or someone that didn't make it?
First of all, I would like to send out word of my condolences to all the victims, some that are not with us today, and some that are there struggling with help or still withholding the situation and not really coming out with it. But my message to anyone, any man, any woman out there that is a victim of violence is that the only way you can break out of it is just when you speak up about it. Because when you don't speak up about it, it will mean that you are allowing the situation to increase, right? You're allowing the situation to increase. And you don't know to what point that will come.
Yeah.
Lives have been lost.
Yeah.
And you can be the next death victim.
Yeah.
So really, we should just not endure to such things. You should not tolerate it. I mean, there's no harm when you report a case. Maybe let me say, when you report a perpetrator, it's for your best. I know it might be a close family member or an intimate partner that you really love and all these different type of things. But at the end of the day, your life matters the most, right? And so you should just really speak up about it.
Just speak up about it.
Before it's too late.
Absolutely. Now, Thuli, you brought us the monitoring evaluation plan from the Ministry of Gender Equality and Child Welfare. And I feel, we've got a ministry that focuses on gender equality and child welfare. We've got this program and so many organizations that speak on gender. Your organization speaks on gender as well. And let's explore, what are your thoughts in terms of what can we as a country do when it comes to GBV? What are your expectations as a young Namibian woman?
I think that we need to really, really deeply look at the trauma that exists in Namibian communities and families. And I think we need to cut the feet out from patriarchy and patriarchal and toxic masculinity stuff. Because I think that is what perpetuates the cycle. But then I could get into capitalism and that is...
Because understanding patriarchy has also a lot of linkage to culture. And
it does.
Which we
and
all
the economy.
Exactly.
It's everything. I mean, that's what I was discussing with my business partner earlier today. We were looking at the difference between masculine modes of running an organization or being together and feminine ways of doing that. And the masculine is commercial and the female is social. And so it permeates every single layer of our society. And I think the first step to that is seeing it, is being aware of it. Because otherwise we're all just being pushed around by these things that we can't see and name. And you can't fight something that you can't see and you can't name.
Exactly.
And I think that's why for so many people, they say it's the devil's work. We need to have a day of prayer. He was possessed by the devil. No, he is somebody who's not okay. He's somebody who needs help and love and to be listened to and to have a supportive structure around him.
Because of recent talks we've heard that, men that perpetrate violence will be sent off to an island. And for me, the question is, men go to, facilities, they rehabilitate, and we normalize them being in society. And, how is it that you will be held accountable for your wrongdoings for the rest of your life? You understand? So maybe the key focus, like you said, let's address the issue. Let's allow men to maybe be vulnerable.
Yeah, because the violence is the, what do you call it? It's not the core issue. It's the symptom.
Yeah.
The violence is a symptom of something. It is not the thing in and of itself. It comes from somewhere.
Yeah.
And until we start looking at where it comes from,
Yeah.
we're not going to move anywhere. It's like when you go to the doctor and you say, I've got a rash. And he's like, I have some cream for that.
Yeah.
But it's a stress rash because you
need to deal with that.
You know, the rash is only going to go away when you give it the whatever, but it's not going to stop appearing until you look at the root cause. And that's what we have to do with GBV in this country.
Yeah. Katu, from your side, last words, and also, what do you feel, can be done as a society, can be done from government, because government in essence is us.
Yes. That question actually took me back into one of the things that I've always had a question mark on, and that is filing for a restriction order really helpful? Like restriction orders.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a way we give the perpetrators another chance to do whatever he has to do. Like on a serious note, I feel like the law enforcement should do a bit better on this one. When someone comes with a situation trying to file a restriction order, it should be up to the law to determine if this is a case worth restriction order or it's just a serious matter where intervention have to come in.
As a social issue.
Yes.
Yeah. Amen.
So really, they should look into it. Not just that. I don't know how fast law is with attending to domestic violence or just gender-based violence cases, but these are serious things that can cost our lives, and we know it has been costing people's lives. So why don't they prioritize such cases first?
Yeah.
So really, in as much as we want to protect both the victims and the perpetrators, I feel like justice needs to be served.
Yeah. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. There you go. Regain Trust, the United Nations Population Fund, as well as Men Engage Namibia. Thank you so much for making sure that this platform is possible. You can, of course, also engage with us on our social platforms on Facebook. And like Tuli said, let's really focus on the root cause. So many women are dying. Every month it seems like we're having a march, but what is the root problem? So as a Namibian nation, let's stand up and fight gender-based violence. My name is Adriano Fisagi. Thank you so much. Till next time.
I know the truth about one man who was persecuted, crucified, hung on the cross for 6 hours, and he was buried and rose from the dead on the third day. Let me introduce you to him.
I know the truth, I can feel today. One man one man who died and rose again. His name is Jesus. Jesus, the one who died and rose again. I know that I know the truth
that can free you today. One man and rose again. I know the truth that can free you today. One man and rose again. His name is Jesus. Is Jesus the one who died and rose again? I know the truth that can free you today. Jesus died and rose again. His name is Jesus. Jesus the one who died and rose again. I know the truth that can free you today. Jesus died and rose again.
Oh yes, I know. He died and rose again. I know that Jesus died. His name is
His
Jesus.
name is Jesus.
Son of God, mighty, able to save. I know Jesus died.
And rose again.
His name is
Jesus.
Son of God, able to save.
And rose again.
His
I know the truth. I know the truth free you today.
His name is
Men who
Jesus,
die,
Son of God. I
I know the truth.
He's ready and able to save you. Yes, His name is
Jesus, Jesus,
the one who died.
and rose again.
I know
I know the truth
that can
free you today.
Jesus died and rose
again.
His name is
Jesus, Son of God, He died and rose again.
I know the
I know the truth free you today.
Jesus died.
And rose again.